Hello, everybody, and thank you for watching the internet. I am Stryker, and very excited to be sitting right next to this man. Not because he's a handsome man, well, he is a handsome man, but because he is a two-time Emmy-nominated actor for Best Supporting Role in a Drama Series on one of the best shows on TV, if not the best show, AMC's Breaking Bad. He plays the role of Jesse Pinkman. He always goes, "Yo, Mr. White, this is Aaron Paul."
How you doing?
What's up, Aaron?
How you doing, brother? Good to see you.
It's great to see you.
Once again.
Yeah, so when we said hi to each other today for the first time, I'm like, it is great to meet you, and you said...
No, we've met before. And he's like, really? I'm like, yeah. Yeah, we did.
How long ago?
This was like 2 weeks ago.
No,
it wasn't 2 weeks ago. It was probably 6-7 years ago at Spasmatics at the Dragonfly.
Right. Now, do you remember the circumstances on why we were introduced?
I know it was because you were talking to a buddy of mine, obviously who wasn't that close of a buddy because I don't remember who that buddy was.
You don't remember?
No, but I was stoked to meet you though. I'm like, yeah, Stryker.
Wow.
That's right. And I'm like, wow, he knows Stryker.
That's amazing. Stoked. And now I'm the biggest fan of the show, and I think you're doing You're welcome. You do an amazing job. And the way that you ended up on this couch is I wrote a blog.
Yes.
On krock.com.
It's a great blog.
Thank you. Yeah. Talking about the show, and you saw it, and now here we are.
Yeah. Thank you for saying such kind words.
Yeah, you're welcome. If you guys haven't seen the show, you got to check it out. But let's just talk about how you ended up on the show, because I find it always exciting and interesting how actors who may not be from LA come out here for the dream. Yeah. And by no means are you an overnight success, because you've been doing this a long time, and you've been in a lot of different things. People can go to your IMDb, everything from Big Love to corn videos, and the list goes on and on.
And at the beginning, it was mostly like really bad stuff.
At the time, did you think it was bad stuff?
No, I was like, sweet, I'm working, this is great. But no, now I'm finally, doing some, I think, legit, solid stuff, so it's good.
How did you end up on the show? What was the process?
The process was, my first meeting was with Vince Gilligan, who is our wonderful creator and showrunner.
Right.
I had a meeting with him and another producer, Melissa Bernstein, and I walked in, and I had worked with Melissa before on a short film years ago, and I had done X-Files, which Vince was executive producer and writer of.
Is that how you got the meeting to begin with, because you did good work with these people before?
No, actually, Vince brought up, he didn't even know what episode of X-Files I worked on. He wasn't the writer on it, because a lot of,
So Vince and I have something in common. We both forgot about you.
Exactly. But I mentioned it. He asked me what episode I did of X-Files, and I said Lord of the Flies, and he said, "Oh my God, you played Sky Commander Winky. That was my nickname in college." And I'm like, "No way!" And it just instantly broke the ice, and just a warm, welcoming room.
So you have that meeting. Is there any reading? Are you doing any
live? Yeah.
Oh, there is.
There's they had us read the script, and this was a completely different process than any other pilots that I've gone on.
Okay.
They said, read the script, pick whatever 2 scenes you want to read, and then go for it. And so I picked these 2 scenes, and Vince loved it, and then he asked me if I'd work on another scene out in the hallway, and he said to come back in whenever I was ready, and then I did, and then right when I left, I found out that I was testing on the drive home.
That is so one day.
Yeah, one day I found out I was testing, and I tested against like 3 other guys, and then they took like a solid close to 2 weeks to give me an answer, because usually you find out right after the test.
Okay.
But it was
and now when you do a test for a show, for this one in particular, no, you're not holding paper. You've got all the lines down.
Yeah.
Who are you doing? Are you doing it with Bryan Cranston?
No. I was just by myself. I was Bryan actually read with the possible Skylar choices.
Yeah.
But I didn't get a chance to read with him. It was just me reading with the casting, but in front of like all of AMC and Sony. And usually with tests you do like studio, and then if you make it past studio you go to network.
Right.
But with this particular project, it was all combined, and it's just like they're all sitting in stadium seating, just looking at me on this small little stage, and it's good.
One thing that I love and appreciate is your wardrobe on Breaking Bad.
Oh my God, how epic is that?
So my question is, when you went in for that test, did they tell you what to wear? Did you wear clothes like that you're actually wearing on the show? What
No,
choice did
not
you
at
make
all,
for,
man.
for
I
your
mean, I
wardrobe?
had like really kind of long hair, and
Okay.
I just kind of just greased it back, and I actually just put water in it and pulled it back before I walked into my test, and I had this dirty jean jacket on with dirty jeans and a kind of messed up T-shirt.
Right.
But when I had no I had no idea Jesse was gonna be like this Jesse that people see on the show.
You
Until
said,
I-
"Yo, bitch,"
Yo,
and Mr.
bitch,
White.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I mean, that's
So
all
many
through
times.
the script, right?
Yeah. Oh, it's all scripted, man.
Yeah.
It's definitely all on the page.
I
The
love it.
writing's brilliant.
So the show is Breaking Bad on AMC. For those of you still watching this interview, you probably watched the show, so I don't need to explain what the entire show is about. But in 20 seconds, a super smart high school teacher, doesn't have the greatest life, good family man, handicapped son, gets cancer, is afraid his family's not going to have any money, and he needs to find a way to support them because he's going to die from cancer. So he starts cooking meth. And who's his partner in crime to get that meth out on the street? His old high school student, Jesse Pinkman, this man right here,
right.
Aaron Paul.
Yeah.
In the beginning, you were the bad guy in my eyes. You didn't really
Really?
have... I mean, not really bad, but now...
He's
Brian,
just a lost kid, struggling to find his way.
that's what Vince said, but I'm watching
Yeah.
it. No, it just... I mean, I know you were a lost kid, but you weren't...
No, I know. Yeah.
You were likable, but you weren't
Yeah,
the best guy.
that's right.
Now,
Yeah.
your partner, Bryan Cranston,
He's turning. Yeah.
he's
Going down the
bad,
dark
and now
rabbit hole.
you're the guy who's kind of like, hold on, should we be doing these
Yeah.
things? Did you know that was going to be the arc of the character?
I didn't know that's where Jesse was heading.
Okay.
But I absolutely knew that's where Mr. White, Walter White, was heading. I knew,
Okay.
like Vince has always said since day one, before we were picked up, he said he wanted to turn a character such as Mr. White, aka like Mr. Chips, into Scarface.
Okay.
And so by the end of Breaking Bad, by the end of the series, our hero will be this, vicious killer,
Heisenberg.
Heisenberg.
Right.
Heisenberg.
All right, so Bryan Cranston we've talked about. He is your partner in crime on the show. He's also an Emmy nominated and winner.
Yeah.
Winner.
2 years in a row.
2 years
and he's
in a row.
nominated again this year.
Of course, he was from Malcolm in the Middle, but I loved him on Seinfeld.
Oh my God.
He was Tim Watley, the dentist.
The dentist.
And he converted to Judaism for the jokes, not for the religion, and that offended Jerry. What's the deal?
What's the deal?
What's the deal with Heisenberg? He's got a shaved head. He doesn't have cancer anymore. So, what is it like working with Bryan Cranston?
Horrible.
Obviously, it's not a comedy.
No, it's horrible.
Is it? He's just the worst?
He is actually probably the worst human being I've ever known. Like, seriously, no joke, worst human being on this planet. It's no, he's fantastic.
Is he?
Yeah, he's great, man. He's
You do almost every scene with the guy.
Yeah, and I honestly, it's a dream come true to work on this show. But I've learned so much from working opposite him, and he's a delight. I mean, this show is so dark and twisted at times, and he kind of breaks the tension by just, messing around.
So I appreciate that you're younger than him. You were his student.
I'm so much younger than him.
right.
He is so much older than me.
You
Oh my
still
God.
call him Mr. White, except maybe
Yeah.
twice you call him Walter. Now, do you do it out of respect, or why do you think you still call him Mr. White?
Mr. White. I think it's so funny because I'll run into, old high school teachers that I had
Yeah.
back in Idaho, and I'll be like, Mrs. Link. That's just what I know them as. And so
Yeah.
I think that's just what it is. And he just never stops. So I love it. He called Mr. White once Walter.
You were pissed when you did it.
I was pissed. Jesse
Was that in the
pissed.
trailer when you called him that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he was just furious. Yeah, in the Methabago, as we call it, he was pissed.
And the show takes place in Albuquerque. What percentage of the show is actually done in Albuquerque?
100%.
100% out there.
Yeah.
So you know the streets of the ABQ right now.
Oh, I know the streets of the ABQ.
Do you
I
want
know
to give
the
a shout out
streets
to some streets, the people watching?
Oh man,
restaurants out there or something?
Frontier is really all I eat at. So I love you. Your early morning breakfast is just epic. So go ABQ.
How many days does it take to film one episode?
8 days.
8 days. And
Yeah.
so you may be doing 5, 6, or maybe even 8 of those 8 days, I assume, right?
Yeah.
And when you do have a day off, is it just, all right, I'm going to just lay down here? Or do you run around the city of Albuquerque a lot?
I used to run around the city of Albuquerque, and I mean, I love it. Yeah, usually if I have a day off, if it's just like one day off, I'll just crash out because the hours are so long. But
Right.
or I'll just fly back to LA and hang out. But
I'm going all
just
over the
around.
place, kind of, but I don't keep notes in front of me.
You're doing an amazing job.
Thank you.
You are.
The last scene
Yeah.
of season 3.
Yeah.
I believe it's the first time you've ever done something. Now, this is a spoiler alert, and if you're watching this far into it, then I'm going to say it. So here you go. You murder a guy
Yeah, I mean, Jesse.
to save Walter.
See, I told you, Jesse's a good guy.
Jesse's a good guy. You
Yeah.
murdered the guy that can cook meth as
Or
great
did
as Walter.
he murder the guy?
Well, looked like the gun went a little to the
Yeah,
side.
but I don't know if the gun went to the side, or did it go to the side? I don't know.
I'm hoping you did it.
You know what? I love Gail. I think Gail is probably
Yeah.
the nicest guy of the
Yes,
show.
yes.
David, you're brilliant. But
He's a sweet man.
he had to die, you know.
Yeah, but we're gonna find out officially if he's dead right when it comes back. on,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. I mean, you know, at the beginning of the season 3, Jesse was convinced that he was the bad guy,
Right.
and I think by the end of this season, it was the loss of innocence, and I think he's kind of turning into that person. So
Speaking of loss of innocence, I love when Walter runs over 2 guys saving your life,
Yes.
pulls out a gun, about 1 second holding the gun, blasts a guy in the head.
that's right.
What was that like?
Amazing.
It was yeah.
You know, that's the thing. That shows exactly where our show's going, and when Brian, who plays Walt, he slams over these guys. He runs out and he runs past the guy that's crawling towards, and he has just broken legs, broken arm,
Right.
crawling towards the gun, and he grabs the gun, and he's just looking around like, what do we do? What do we do?
Yeah.
And he takes like a close to 10-second pause, and then he shoots.
When you were filming it?
When we were filming it,
Okay.
but in editing, Vince, that's when Vince takes the reins. He's like, no, I want that to be condensed. I want it to be a very easy decision. Grab the gun, boom. And so that's where, Walter's heading into the Heisenberg alter ego.
I want to know how well you know your characters. I've never uttered this phrase before, but I'll do it now.
What?
I was roller skating the other day, and one of your castmates was there, roller skating. Which castmate of everyone you work with was roller skating?
That would obviously be Bryan Cranston.
No, it's not Brian.
He roller skates all the time.
Are you serious?
No.
Okay. It was not him, and I don't even want to say why I was roller skating, but
I love that you roller skate.
I don't roller skate. It was
I
a
find that
one-time
very
deal.
poetic about you.
It was a one-time
Yeah.
deal that I was roller skating.
Where?
In Glendale.
In Glendale. A castmate of Breaking Bad.
Yeah.
Bob Odenkirk.
No.
Really?
No, he has a lesser role than Bob Odenkirk, who plays the lawyer. And Bob, if you're watching, man, you are awesome. I love the
Oh
comb
my God,
over.
he's amazing. I don't even know.
Badger. What's his real name?
Matt Jones.
Yeah, Matt Jones.
Matt Jones.
Yeah.
Oh, Matt Jones.
He's a roller skating
Yeah.
son of a bitch, that guy.
Good for that guy.
Yeah.
I love that I know that about him now.